This time, Heavenly Father, come before your presence. Come because we are Toastmasters, anointed Toastmasters. Come because of your great mercy. Father, we just thank you for the incoming officers at this time. Father, we just ask that you touch their lives, have them with the full power you've given them to become better listeners, better thinkers, better speakers, and better leaders. Father, we just thank you for District 47. We will give you praise and thanks for God's six things in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. 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 We will now have the national anthem, led by distinguished Toastmaster Pedro Young. Thank you very much. Live to the rising of I with me see out mastermind your head. Who excel through love and unity, resting onward, march together to our common rock. Send onward, though the weather might go high and raise Bow your head to the rising sun. Your front leads unto your march on, Bahamas. I will now read the mission of Toastmasters. Mission of Toastmasters. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills. I'd like to invite the lecturer and incoming Vice President of Public Relations, Toastmaster Brian McPhee.
Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. It's indeed a pleasure to be here this evening. Our chairman for this evening went from working in the bank as a teller to a loan officer to now a senior internal auditor at the National Insurance Board. When asked what was his favorite toy as a child, he said a microphone. This Toastmaster excelled with this program, earning the rank of a distinguished Toastmaster. He was built, designed, and crafted in the Toastmasters laboratory, where leaders are made. This Toastmaster is known to be the MC of MCs. He is the Michael Jordan of the microphone. Please help me welcome to the lectern, distinguished Toastmaster Chavez Brown.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. One more time. The people on Zoom, hey, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Good evening also to our lovely guests and friends on the Zoom platform. If you're on the Zoom platform, in the chat. So all my fellow Toastmasters and guests in here, we want to have a great evening. Let us see who's here supporting this new executive right now. If you're a past president right now, support the executive. Make some noise. Make some noise, past president. Oh, yeah. If you're a family member or a friend, if you come out right now, make some noise. Let me introduce the representative, the president, and also, before I got interested propositions, I got the answer, I got the spirit, I knew something about her. She said she went to a great high school, she went to state, Augustus College. It was a show. That's the only school in the mountains, amen? Amen. Well, so much to guys here, have a great time. It's such a pleasure to be here and ask the Vice President of Public Relations elected due to I started way down at the bottom as a teller, way down. Similarly, as our good incoming president started, we met from like, and I said, bro, what was your first job? Like, he said, I used to work tomorrow. I was a attendant engineer. So now he stands before us today as the incoming president of this great organization. So let's give him a round of applause. Toastmasters guests coming down to give the welcome guests. If you want to feel at home, put your hands together and let's welcome the incoming Vice President of Education, Toastmaster Edward Thurston.
Good evening. District 47 Director, Derek, CEO. Apologies. Division I Director, Toastmaster Derek, CEO. Area 93 Director, Toastmaster Rosina Duncanson, who's joining us via Zoom. And I see we have District 47 Public Relations Toastmaster Rodney Mead. To any additional current or past district, division, area governors and directors, to our past presidents, Mr. Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. On behalf of the President, my fellow executives, and members of the First Bahamas branch of Toastmasters of 1600, we extend a warm welcome to you this evening. And thank you for joining us at the installation of offices for the First Bahamas branch of Toastmasters of 1600. The installation of club offices signals the beginning of a new fiscal Toastmasters year that begins July 1 and commences June 30. It's an occasion where club executives officially accept their respective roles. It's an occasion that allows the immediate past president breathe a sigh of relief. It's an occasion that provides the incoming president an opportunity to share his vision and his goals for the club in this new term. For the remaining executives, this is an occasion which signals the time to serve and lead begins now. For our past presidents, these meetings are a stamp of approval on a successful transition. I'm reminded of a brief conversation I had with distinguished Toastmaster Keith Major, who once told me, Toastmaster Eddie Thurston, in 3 years, you will be president of Club 1600. So, therefore, this is also an occasion that contributes to aspirations. This is an occasion where our keynote speaker seeks to advise and inspire. This is an occasion where we stand on the foundational core values of Toastmasters International: integrity, respect, service, and excellence. This is a celebratory occasion, a time to congratulate those who have decided to step forward and lead and serve. This is an occasion that signals next generation leadership together toward tomorrow. Once again, on behalf of our president and fellow executives, welcome. I would like to introduce distinguished Toastmaster Devaughn Poitier, who will introduce our keynote speaker.
Good evening. When purpose meets passion, something remarkable happens. Our next speaker is evidence of it. He has found a way to merge the two. He is a graduate of St. Anne's Anglican High School and later Dalhousie University in Canada, where he earned a bachelor's degree in civil engineering and then a master's degree in coastal oceanographic engineering at the University of Florida, becoming the first coastal engineer in our country. He is a licensed professional engineer in the Bahamas, Canada, and the United States of America. World over, and is globally certified as a project management professional. He is the founder and managing principal of several engineering and technology-related businesses, including Devaughn, a development consulting firm. He believes in life, we must seize the opportunities to fill spaces. These spaces ultimately help to improve the quality of life for the people of our nation. While this began with coastal engineering, his passion aligned with his purpose even more during the pandemic, leading him to the development of Eden Farms, a technology company that grows greens using world-class hydroponic infrastructure. In a time where food security is of the utmost importance for our country, our speaker is leading the charge. He is a driven father of two and the husband of one. He is a past president of the first Bahamas branch of Toastmasters, Club 1600. He is a distinguished Toastmaster. He is an engineer by training, an environmentalist by nature, an entrepreneur by heart, and an executive by profession. Please help me welcome to the lectern Distinguished Toastmaster. Father. Relations. AKA, the mind. The fable is told that the founder of Dubai was asked about the future of his country. He looked up and he replied, "My grandfather rode a camel. My father rode a camel. I ride a Mercedes. My son rides a Land Rover. My grandson will ride a Land Rover. My great-grandson will ride a camel again." What is that? He was asked. His reply was simply this: hard times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men. Weak men create difficult times. Many of us might not understand it, but you must raise warriors, not parasites. Tonight, fellow Toastmasters and guests, we will ride into the future of Club 1600 and our nation, together towards tomorrow. Thank you. Toastmaster Devaughn Poitier, you did an outstanding introduction. I am truly honored to have a friend and a fellow Toastmaster introduce me in that way. We look at you tonight, we look at ourselves, and we truly have to be grateful for the value of this program. This program has done masterful works in each and every one of us. We see young men like our president-elect, Toastmaster Devaughn Taylor, and we know that the future of our nation and the future of this club is in good hands. The vision, the enlightenment, is what we have inside of us today. We might not see it, we might not put words to it, but it is the ride that we continue on in the car that they would have prepared for us. This club has enlightened me in a way that I give it the single largest credit for who I am outside of God and the family that made me. This club has the ability to make you a millionaire. This club has the ability to put you on a platform in front of any audience in the world. This club and these mentors have the ability to coach you through any situation you will deal with in your house, in your work, or in any other facet of your life. Become enlightened, fellow Toastmasters and guests, because the journey of a lifetime starts today. And no matter where you end up, you will always be further ahead than where you started yesterday. Mr. President, you gave the tailor-made speech that one made his life. I believe that you were tailor-made for a time such as this. God cut a fabric and made you. And your leadership with this executive will be one that will leave fine suits and fine linen long after you. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I know the journey of Toastmaster Devaughn Taylor. He and I have spent many times bouncing things off each other, talking about the struggles and the triumphs. But one thing that I am always proud of him is that he knows he has greatness within him. Whether you walked here tonight, you rode a camel, you took a Mercedes like distinguished Toastmaster Franklin Winder, or a Land Rover like distinguished Toastmaster Jamal Hubbard, or simply a cube like Toastmaster Jabez Brown.
The point is you reach. So you took the first step in your ride. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, no matter what form of transportation is your means of transportation, you are a warrior. Be resilient, be inquisitive, be diligent, and be enlightened. Let us ride to take it for the rest of our lives. Thank you very much. We win when our kids realize that somebody who looks like my daddy could be given a keynote speech. We win, fellow Toastmasters and guests, when we realize that people like distinguished Toastmaster Edward Carey sitting in the back, persons who would have laid the foundation, who would have decided to sacrifice, who would have siphoned the fuel out of their tank to put it in ours when we didn't have enough to make it home. Fellow Toastmasters guests, these are the people who interact with us in our lives, who take us, who push us, and who get us to our next step.
Oh, man.
We continue along the ride this evening, and we get to diligence. Diligence is defined as having or showing care and conscientiousness in our work. All strong men are committed to hard work, but are all strong men committed to the wisdom that it takes to translate their work into opportunity? It is this translation where the diligence of our hard work leads to the opportunities that will open the doors for those around us. We set our goals, we plan, we focus, we execute. We start wherever we are in this Toastmasters journey, whether it's Sergeant at Arms, making sure that every single meeting is spectacular. Whether it's treasurer, that every time you call distinguished Toastmaster L. Edgar Moxie and he gives you the runaround, you show up again. Because you know why? The negotiation skills that it takes to get L. Edgar Moxie's money will one day be the negotiation skills you use to sign a $10 million contract. It is the training ground, the diligence, the hard work, and we see Toastmaster Devaughn Taylor as an example of that. Toastmaster Taylor, I remember, used to ride on the back of the truck when he was Sergeant at Arms. He used to get his boys from the neighborhood. And you know what? One day I asked him, Toastmaster Taylor, why do you always have a bunch of guys riding on the back of the truck with you? He said, you know why? Because sometimes I need to keep the guys busy. And he said, sometimes when you keep them busy, you can make them better. We all have our moments. We all are on this ride of life. We looked at the qualities of resilience, of inquisitiveness, of diligence, and we will end with the E of enlightenment. Enlightenment is defined as having or showing a moral, modern, and well-informed outlook. We are all familiar with the Bible verse, where there is no vision, the people perish. We know that Ralph Smedley had a vision, and that vision is what brings us together 97 years later. Distinguished Toastmaster Ed Carey and others, Ernest T. Strawn, desired for Bahamians to communicate more effectively. They desired to see in the independence and suffrage movement the ability for us to be stronger, to be better toward tomorrow. The vision, the enlightenment, is what we have inside of us today. We might not see it, we might not put words to it, but it is the ride that we continue on in the car that they would have prepared for us. This club has enlightened me in a way that I give it the single largest credit for who I am outside of God and the family that made me. This club has the ability to make you a millionaire. This club has the ability to put you on a platform in front of any audience in the world. This club and these mentors have the ability to coach you through any situation you will deal with in your house, in your work, or in any other facet of your life. Become enlightened, fellow Toastmasters and guests, because the journey of a lifetime starts today. And no matter where you end up, you will always be further ahead than where you started. Yes. Mr. President, you gave the tailor-made speech that won ladies' night. I believe that you were tailor-made for a time such as this. God cut a fabric and made you. And your leadership with this executive will be one that will leave fine suits and fine linen long after you. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I know the journey of Toastmaster Devaughn. He and I have spent many times bouncing things off each other, talking about the struggles and the triumphs. But one thing that I am always proud of him is that he knows he has greatness within him. Whether you walked here tonight, you rode a camel, you took a Mercedes like distinguished Toastmaster Franklin.
We walk the past, present, is one for his dedication and service.
I will.
Okay, Toastmaster.
Good evening, everyone. Established. In August of 2016, this Toastmasters journey began by becoming a member of Pinnacle Seekers Toastmasters Club. Through the years, his experiences have taught him that the more he serves, the more he grows. Consequently, he has committed himself to being a servant leader within Toastmasters and in other spheres of his life. Presently, he is a member of 6 clubs within District 47 and has held the positions of President, Vice President Education, and Sergeant at Arms at 2 of those clubs. This past Toastmasters year found him serving as the Area Director for Area 60 Division F. He has also served as the Vice President membership of the First Bahamas branch, the First Breakfast Toastmasters Club, my apologies, and the Intercontinental Advanced Toastmasters Club. He admonishes all in the words of Zig Ziglar. You do not have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. Please welcome to the Latin Division Director, Toastmaster Derek Garcia.
Good evening, Miss 69. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, it is indeed a privilege. I stand here as Division I Director for the year 2021. We are not claiming to be as honest as I can say that it was in June 2019, I would reach out to distinguished Toastmasters to give a presentation on the president's role for executives. I was about to become president of Pinnacle Seekers and found a need for myself and all my executives to get that training before taking office. I say that, I say this. It's good to prepare yourself for what you know is ahead. Even though there may not be protocols already established, as leaders, we must dare to do different, to do better. As a leader, you can come into a room. So many of us, we've got just managing what's already in place, as opposed to having the mindset to change. My encouragement for let me first acknowledge and state that bring greetings on behalf of our division, district director, distinguished master Shacoy Devaughn, on your incident.
I want to thank all of you for attending tonight. Sure, you were inspired. I was inspired. Lord told me, be farther than the word that He gave you. That's right.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, before I call for a motion for the meeting to be adjourned, I'd like to make a quick announcement. The bar is open. And we will also have refreshments, foods, and I think. When I say the bar's open, I mean drink, just drinks. Just drinks. Fellow Toastmasters, in all seriousness, can I get a motion for this meeting to be adjourned? Distinguished Toastmasters, white words. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening. The great Toastmaster once said, if you give at least 85% effort to this program, within 2 years, you'll be promoted on your job. Now, when I first heard him say this, in all honesty, I thought that this was the craziest thing that I have ever heard. There were just far too many variables for him to be that certain that I would be promoted just from participating in Toastmasters. And yet he did not blink, he did not smile. And he was very deliberate with what he said. And so I gave the 85. I gave 85 plus, just in case. Lo and behold, within 2 years, I was promoted. Years after that, 2 years after that, I was promoted again. And so it went. The Toastmaster that said these words, many of you already know, is none other than distinguished Toastmaster Anthony Downey. Now, I have heard many profound quotes by many great men in this organization. But for this moment,
as I prepare to take the highest office in this club, and I reflect on my journey, I can't help but think of this one. Because I believe that this statement not only quantifies my growth through Club 1600, but it also qualifies it. It quantifies through tangible milestones, accomplishments that we can measure, such as the job promotions, being elected as a club officer, earning an award, things that we can look back on and say, wow, I did that. Early on in the club, it was always the tangible growth for me, the accomplishments, the milestones. However, in this moment, as I reflect, it is the intangible growth that I am most grateful for. The intangible growth that I believe gives quality to the earlier quote. And the reason I say that is because 10 years ago, a 20-year-old me entered the halls of Club 1600 for the first time. I was dressed in my Easter Sunday best, tan pants, lime green shirt, and a lime green and tan necktie, straight from the mannequin at Fine Dress. I was invited by my co-worker and now mentor, distinguished Toastmaster Shacoy Brown. And like distinguished Toastmaster Shacoy Brown said, out the gate, I was blown away. I was amazed. I marveled at everything that he knew. Everything about Club 1600 was what I wanted for myself. But I only hoped to join. I only hoped that I would get it. Because who was I kidding? I could not be a Toastmaster. Speak in front of an audience. I was still afraid to say bus stop on a jitney. How would I ever speak in front of this audience of distinguished men? Who would ever see me as a leader? Not only that, I also dealt with a plethora of personal challenges that I felt destroyed my life at any second. Some of these challenges many young people in our country are faced with today. I was constantly involved in fights, gang activity, substance abuse. I had horrible financial habits. Basically, I had no direction and I was in a rush to get nowhere. Nothing about my fellow Toastmasters was remotely close to what I had witnessed that evening. And yet, 3 meetings later, I was inducted. 3 meetings later, I was exposed to an environment that would help me to develop character. The way I walked, the way I spoke, my mindset, the way I now carried myself, would slowly change for the better. I went from low self-esteem to humility. I went from arrogance to confidence. I went from impetuous mistakes to prudent decision-making. And I went from substance abuse to just substance. Yeah. The environment that is Club 1600 became the furnace that would help to mold and shape my future for the better. Men such as Carey Ferguson, White Borough, Cyprian Gibson would help to steer me in a better direction. The intangible benefit of these individuals and many others, and the role that they played in my development, is what qualifies my growth, is what gives quality to the earlier growth. Because if you really think about it, improving who we are as speakers, yeah, that would get us in the conversation. But when we improve ourselves as individuals. This is what distinguishes us and makes us the best choice for any job. And Club 1600 gave that to me. By giving 85+% to this program, I was promoted in more ways than I could have ever imagined. And so in this moment, I am grateful to Toastmasters for helping me to become the communicator and leader that I see myself as today. And in this moment, I am grateful to Club 1600 for helping me to become the man that I am today. It is a great honor and privilege to stand here this evening as the 57th president of this prestigious organization. Not only because I see this as a milestone on my journey, but because I know that things could have been a whole lot different for me had I not joined this great club. And so in this moment, I would simply like to say, thank you. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, just as you have helped me and many like me, in the coming year, Club 1600 will continue to help individuals that enter our halls. We will introduce initiatives designed to help our members grow, both inside and outside of Toastmasters. One of which would be to introduce workshops on topics to include personal budgeting, resume building, preparing for a job interview, investing in assets such as real estate, insurance, annuities, retirement plans, and why these things are important. In the coming year for Toastmasters, we will go above and beyond in promoting the significance of Club 1600. In the previous administration, we gave you the story of our club in the form of a documentary. This year, we will give you the story of our members. Who they were before they joined and who they are now. Stories that need to be told. And such as Pedro Young, Shadow Roderick Woodruff. We will tell their story, their journey, their history, their struggle, their triumph, and how Club 1600 has helped them. And how Club 1600 has helped them to where they are today. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, we will go above and beyond as vanguards in the Toastmasters community. We will take additional strides forward in the technological era. This year, my team and I will work diligently to develop and launch the first Bahamas branch mobile app. Which, as indicated by Steve, will be the first Toastmasters app in the Bahamas. This will allow our members to access all things Club 1600 on the palm of their hands. You'll be able to pay your dues, read the club minutes, view highlights, vote, buy drinks, amongst other things, all from the convenience of your mobile device. This fellow Toastmasters is a key initiative that I believe will make our club more accessible and extend the value of Club 1600 to new platforms. Fellow Toastmasters, we will not stop there. No. We will go beyond the four walls. We will go beyond the four walls. We will extend our reach to other Toastmasters club. We will expand our partnership with external groups, including the Union, including Junior Achievement, including Gentlemen's Club, and many others. We will expand our relationship with the Simpson Penn Schools of Boys beyond the 8 sessions of a youth leadership program. We will do this by implementing and facilitating a Gather Club school so that our presence can be extended, so that our presence can be more tangible, and the intangible benefit of positive male role models can be shared with those boys that really need it. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, the year 2020 and now into 2021 has been one of the more difficult times in our country and around the world as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. And Toastmasters was certainly not exempted from this difficulty. However, under the leadership of President Shacoy Mullings, we were relentless in carrying out our mandate. And Club 1600 was once again successful. As we now move into the 2021-2022 administration, we will continue this unrelenting push towards our goals as next generation leaders working together towards tomorrow. This effort, fellow Toastmasters, cannot be achieved without your help. The likes of distinguished Toastmaster Jabal distinguished Toastmaster Edward Carey, distinguished Toastmaster Bernard, the entire Club 1600 family, just as you are here supporting us this evening, and as you have supported us in the past, we ask your continued support moving forward. Members of the incoming executive, I could have not envisioned a more talented team of individuals by my side on this journey. Vice President of Education, through to the Sergeant at Arms. Each of you, leaders in every sense, men who themselves will one day lead this great organization. That's right. Last but certainly not least, to my family. The foundation on which I stand. My mother, Francis mother, that half of she. My stepfather, my brother, my sisters, my aunts, uncles, my entire support system. I will do my best to make you proud. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, in this moment, I have reflected, and I now look toward the future. In doing so, I wish to reaffirm my commitment to the brand that is Club 1600. My team and I will do our best to exceed the standard of our predecessors. We will give more than 85% in carrying out our duty, and we will go above and beyond and effective our mandate. This is our charge. And now we call on you, members, to support us on this journey. Call us out on our transgression. Lend a helping hand when we may fall short. Working together is what got us here. And this is how we will move forward together towards tomorrow.
I was hoping I didn't use the y'all here be with If you want items left on the agenda,